Welcome to Tunisia's Locs, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri, the channel where we get it all in. You can also learn more about the I Am Melanin Magic brand. Thank you for stopping by. Hello, and welcome to Tunisia's Locs, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel. It is my pleasure to be here to present to you content and videos focused around your overall hair health and the longevity destiny with regard to your baby locks, your small locks, your little locks, your micro locks, your whatever lock, your sister locks. Today I'm going to be talking about something that's really important that just has to do with your need to be vigilant. Your need to be vigilant regarding new lock, regarding your journey with your locks. Many people have a misconception when they decide to get locks, they can sit down and relax. And you can in some respect, in between inspecting what you expect, in between having to stop and survey your hair and make sure things are okay, in between making sure that you keep the lines of communication open with your loctician, and in between understanding overall that when you have smaller locks, when you have little locks, when you have baby locks, micro locks, sister locks, whatever locks you want to call them, it requires a certain level of vigilance. It requires a certain level of intuitive insight regarding what is going on with your hair at all times. You cannot take a laissez-faire approach, and that's what I want to get into today a little bit. So before I even get started, for those of you who like to be in alignment with the universal laws of giving and receiving, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, like it, share it, subscribe it. Also, for those of you who see this video in February of 2024, there is a 25% off sale for everything on the I Am Melanin Magic website. This is the longest sale that we will ever have, and this is the longest one that we've had up until this point. And so to give those of you an opportunity who are purchasing already on a regular basis to continue to purchase, and then to also maybe take advantage of some things that maybe otherwise you might not be able to take advantage of. For those of you in the 500 club and the 1000 club, you have emails that went out a couple of weeks ago that offered specific sales. If you're still interested in that, please continue to pay attention to your email boxes. There will likely be a sale for those people that are in the $1,000 and $500 clubs. There will be a sale for you happening in early summer, late spring. Okay, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. In order to have healthy locks, locks that look healthy, locks that are healthy, locks that are resilient, locks that can rebound from some of the styling stresses that you're going to encounter with small locks. I am separating knotted locks from this conversation because you're not going to encounter any styling stresses that are going to affect the health and vitality of your hair. You're not going to encounter any styling stresses that are going to attack your follicles, that are going to traumatize your hair. It ain't going to happen. So I'm talking about everything outside of knotted locks. So some of the things that we take for granted when we get a beautiful hairstyle such as Sisterlocks or Microlocks or one of the other smaller locks. I have a little pipe cleaner still in here for some hair that didn't seem to take to the curl like the rest of my pipe cleaner curls. One of the things we take for granted is the utter relaxation and I don't have to worry about my hair every day attitude. And that's okay when you think about your day-to-day concerns, because typically you will get up every day. You will feel beautiful because you are beautiful, not just because of your hair. The hair will enhance you. You can say goodbye to bad hair days and all of that. Believe me when I say getting Sisterlocks was the best choice that I ever made before knotted locks. But Sisterlocks served its purpose. I am grateful. I am a dutiful champion to the extent that I can be and still be real with you about my Sisterlocks journey. But moving into a place where I didn't have to worry about hair every day, even when my hair was relaxed, I was the person that went into the mirror 5 or 6 minutes. I want to be out of the mirror. I don't spend a lot of time putting on makeup. That's not my thing. I appreciate hair freedom, which Sisterlocks gave me. Sisterlocks gave my hair a chance to rest from the styling stresses of relaxers, the hassle of having to get relaxers and keep up with and maintain my hair. It freed me from so many other things. But as I continued to journey for 13 years, there were a lot of things that I wish I had known going in. On one hand, I wish I had known going in that I would maybe need to make other choices further down the line. I'm glad I didn't know going in things that would frighten me and scare me and turn me away from Sisterlocks, because it was still the best decision that I ever made in my life with regard to my hair at that particular time in my evolution. And had I been told too many things, it might have scared me. Most of the time, because people don't always have solutions. But the things I want to tell you about on this channel will focus on how to keep your hair healthy, how to identify the warning signs when you're moving toward the continuum of ill health for your hair, or breakage, or falling hair, or thinning, locks, whatever. And then some of the warning signs along with potential solutions to help you navigate what you might be facing with regard to your Sisterlocks. Typically, I'm talking about people who are not newbies. If you're a newbie, you may want to watch this video for long-term expectations. But if you're not a newbie, this video is going to make sense to you, because at some point in your hair care journey, you're going to face the need to have to make a decision. Your locks are going to shapeshift. Your locks are going to go through a metamorphosis, just like you as the lock wearer are going to go through a metamorphosis. And all of it is going to be beautiful for the most part, as long as you stay in step with what you need to stay in step with, as long as you stay informed, and as long as you are willing to take immediate action to remedy anything that you see that is presenting itself as a red flag. So what are some of the most important things that I want you to leave this video knowing is that to go and sit down and turn your hair over to another individual who is not as invested as you are comes with inherent risks. Obviously, you are the best person to be in your hair. Obviously, you are the best person to determine the state of your hair if you are paying attention to what is going on with your hair. Obviously, you're the best person to care for your hair, but not all of us are in situations where we can turn our hair care over to other people, so we must rely on our locticians. And many of us have fabulous locticians. Shout out to the locticians. We have so many great ones, like all over the place. And if you're lucky enough to get a really good loctician, you're going to be in a wonderful place. Someone who will take care of your hair, who will care about your hair, who will make sure that your hair gets what it needs, but most importantly, who will communicate with you about what's going on with your hair. You are one of the luckiest. Shout out to Breakage and shout out to Naka, who both have over the years maintained my Sisterlocks. Now, there are some other things, though, that could put you on the path to not feeling so secure and safe with regard to your hairstyle. When we set out to get Sisterlocks, it is my understanding, at least I did, that this was going to be a style that I could have for many years to come. I did not set out to get Sisterlocks only to have to take them down through poor installation, or even worse, only to have to take them down after having enjoyed them for many years because my hair is no longer responding to the styling stresses that are associated with Sisterlocks or Microlocks or whatever other kind of lock in a positive way. When you get to a point in your hair care journey and you realize that your locks are not responding the way they used to the repeated rituals that are a requirement for this style, you have important decisions that you are going to have to make. What are some of the things that can bring you to closure with that? Or what are some of the things that can cause you to draw a conclusion that your hair is not responding the way it used to? Well, you're going to start to notice thinning in your locks. You may start to notice that your locks are falling. You may have already had a few locks to fall, but maybe they're falling in different areas. You may notice your hair is dry. You may notice that your hair is not as shiny naturally as it used to be, and that you're having to use a lot of product on your hair in order to get the same response that you were able to get before. You may notice that you have, say for example, you've been someone who's been tuning into this channel, and suddenly you need the magical hair growth serum. And you didn't need it before, but you need it now because you are experiencing some, what is seeming like, even though it can be a little difficult to perceive in the beginning, some hair loss. So now you're realizing, I think I'm going to need something else for my hair because it doesn't look like it used to look. Or when I look at the scalp, I'm seeing some thinning. These is hopefully will be a new lock. I'm seeing some thinning, or I'm looking at an area of my hair that used to be super thick. Okay. For a lot of you, it may be in the crown. For some of you, it can be your edges. My edges were always thin. But you know where your hair takes its beating the most. For many people, it's the edges. For others, it's the crown. Sometimes it's the 2 to 3 inch area from the back of the forehead that can start with corresponding with the third eye all the way down and back. But you start to feel as though they're not as thick. Some of you may notice that you had to have more marrying that happened either with your consent or without your consent. The bottom line is you're noticing something has changed with your hair, and you may or may not be talking about this with your loctician. Your loctician may or may not have been the person to bring this up to you. This is one of the reasons why I will recommend and continue to blow the trumpet for all of us, all of you, as it relates to the need to make sure that you are always checking your hair and that you begin to note any areas that seem like they're changing or shifting, even if it feels almost imperceptible. Get your camera, take a few pictures, start to pay closer attention to what is happening over time. And the reason why it can be a good idea to start to look at that is because sometimes on a day-to-day basis with the naked eye, subtle signs of breakage can escape us. A lot of times before you see the manifest version of the breakage or the manifestation of breakage, it has happened at a very subtle level physically that is undetectable, and even before that, the stress has given off a vibrational frequency that has created an energetic template for the actual breakage that will occur. Okay, everything happens in the unmanifest realm first. So when something is broken or something is wounded or there's a trauma, there's an energetic reaction that happens around the root, that happens at the follicular level. Yeah, I think that's the word. At the follicle level, all right, that begins to happen, which then ushers in the opening for the trauma to actually manifest into something physical that you can see. So that in and of itself is a process. Where you start to see breakage, if it is not arrested, will then move out and become more of a widespread or systemic type of situation to give you an alarm, to sound the alarm that something has to be done. I am here to help you to understand that you more than likely will get to that place. And it is just a matter of time. Do not think that you cannot identify with the movies or the videos here on this channel simply because you have not gotten there yet. For some, it can take 3, 5, 10, 11, 12, upwards of that number of years. And just because you have locks for that length of time and you begin to experience problems doesn't mean or should not be attributed to hormonal issues, menopause, bad health, ill health, especially if nothing has changed in your situation, especially if you are not finding yourself in menopause, especially if you recognize and you understand that menopause in and of itself does not equate to hair loss. Hormonal issues don't always equate to hair loss, especially if you know and can look around at the women in your family, especially if you understand what's going on with your hair. You've been paying attention the whole time. And in particular, and especially if you cannot eliminate or you cannot say without a shadow of a doubt that you've never had a painful retightening, that you have not been concerned about the frequency of your retightenings, that you have a loctician that pulls too tight, that you can feel the tool or you can hear the friction or the snags that happen when you get your retightening. If you cannot say that 100%, then understand that you are a prime candidate for some type of hair loss over the long term. And if you are not vigilant about that, and if you're not willing to entertain that, then what can happen is it can come up, catch you off guard. It can sneak up on you, and before you realize it, you're in an emergency situation or an emerging situation that will require your urgent attention. It can border on catastrophic, like many of the ladies that I've seen and spoken to. Many of the women that Ms. Blake's has seen in her consultations, which are very humiliated or saddened or frustrated by what has been their lock journey and what has ended up putting them in a place where they have severe hair loss, sometimes too severe to even matriculate over to knotted locks. You don't want to wait that long. You also don't want to close your eyes and be in a form of denial because your hair looks beautiful now. If I didn't make the decision that I was making with my hair at the time that I made my hair, if I was not the one doing my retightenings in certain areas, if I was not the one that was maintaining my hair, doing my own washings, careful to oversee what was going on with each and every lock, noting the differences sometimes when my locks will be pulled or yanked while in the bed, or taking all the other precautions that I needed to take, I would not be able to sit here today and have my locks look the way they look. Period. End of discussion. I had Sisterlocks for over 13 years, and during that time, I had to be vigilant. I was vigilant because very early in my journey, I realized that some of the practices and rituals were counter to hair health. I was vigilant because on this channel, listening to some of your comments and concerns caused me to then also see an approaching train wreck. I was vigilant because many of you sent me before and after pictures of what had happened to your hair whilst having this journey. Many of you had to have your locks totally cut off. And when you stopped doing the retightenings, your hair began to flourish. The same as when you stop doing the retightenings and you start relocking. If you happen to vibrate with the whole idea of knotted locks, your hair is going to be able to rest. It won't make a difference what you do in the short term if you don't make the long-term decisions that you need to make to ensure your overall lock health. That is where we're going with this. It's not going to matter how good your hair looks right now. It's not going to matter that you are saying that's not me. Or it's not going to matter that you have fine or low density hair and you feel secure now because your hair looks thicker if long term the very things that you are doing that are giving you the false visual of healthier, thicker hair are not going to go the distance. If you're someone that knows that you just want to wear this for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, and then you're going to take them out, fine. Turn this video off. This video may not be for you. It likely isn't for you because you already understand that you either are not going to have them long, or you've already digested the fact that when you begin to see signs of trouble, you're going to take them out. But for those of you who have chosen this as a lifestyle, for those of you who love your luxurious hair, for those of you who just know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is going to be something that you want to wear well into the future, you got some decisions to make, and you've got some conversations that you need to have with your loctician, and you have some realities that you're going to have to face. Watch more of the videos from this channel. Check out the playlist for Sisterlock thinning, locks, issues. I have multiple playlists on this channel that are dedicated to helping you to learn more about some of the things that you can do while you're still sporting your beautiful Sisterlocks or Microlocks, to help you get more value for what you are so heavily invested in, and to give you a greater sense of ease so that you are walking amidst those who are locked, Sisterlocked, Microlocked, whatever kind of lock that you want to talk about, with tiny locks, with some information, that you are armed with the knowledge that you need to be able to go the distance. You're with Tanisha Ali. If you have not purchased my book on Amazon.com, Manifesting Your Masterpiece, please go ahead and get it. It should be a wonderful addition to your healing library for those of you who are trying to gain clarity, up-level your mindset, clear and heal energetic blockages so that you can manifest the glory of God that is you, your absolute best life, the glory of God that resides within you. Get that book. Thank you so much for hanging out. For those of you who made it to the end, please let me know. For those of you who have experienced lock loss or excessive thinning, please put your information in the comments. I'm aware that dozens of you have matriculated over to Miss Blake's and are transitioning to knotted locks because of some of the trauma that you've experienced during your hair journey. It's interesting that of those numbers of you who tell her you're from this channel, only about 20% of those people do I actually know, because you don't show up in the comments. And you may not have reached out to me by phone, 678-438-6442, accepting text messages only. And because of that, I don't see you technically, but I would love to know who you are, and I would love for you to share your story. And I would also invite you to come onto the channel to share some of the experiences that you've had, and if you've been able to mitigate this, or there have been things that you've been able to do while still maintaining your hair, let me know that as well. But everyone in the community deserves and has an opportunity to get a full picture with regard to some of the challenges with this hairstyle, and that's what I want to make sure we do, is to provide some alternatives, to provide some interventions for you, so that if you decide you want to transition, you can do that. And if you decide you want to stay, you can do that comfortably as well, having been armed with information. So thank you again for your time. I really appreciate all of you. Sending you lots of love. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, share, and comment in the comment section. And I will talk to you again soon. I want to take a few moments to share with you some of the successes that the I Am Melanin Magic hair brand is having. Jimmy here, along with his father, have been dealing with hair loss presenting as bald patches and thinning throughout his hair for over 10 years. He decided, by way of his girlfriend, to give I Am Melanin Magic a try. With consistent use of the I Am Melanin Magic Magical Hair Growth Serum, using it 5 days a week for 8 weeks, these are the results that he was able to get. I Am Melanin Magic, and so are you.
If you are not using Melanin Magic hair oil, then what are you using?
Hi, I'm the creator of the I Am Melanin Magic skin and hair care brand. The I Am Melanin Magic hair oil is our premier product. It is the leading high-end supplement for your mane.
It reduces breakage and promotes growth, and can be used on all hair types and looks, from straightened hair and microlocks to wigs and protective styles. It's antifungal, antibacterial, and it's anti-funk, so you know you're protected.
It softens and conditions your hair, and it's anti-frizz too.
Hey guys, so I started using this oil called I Am Melanin Magic since February of this year, and check out the new growth. Like, it's insane. Not only did it help with my new growth, but it smells amazing too.
See the dramatic improvements Denisha has made after not having hair around her edges for 3 years. Tanya's hair had been like this for almost 20 years, and while getting injections. Her doctor said it was scarred and would never grow back. After 4 weeks of using I Am Melanin Magic, this is what she looked like. I Am Melanin Magic did this to Danette's hair after a short time. This is really all your hair needs. It's rich with antioxidants, loaded with growth-promoting ingredients. Look at the growth of my hair. It's amazing. The product speaks for itself. Order yours today and don't delay. Don't delay. Purchase yours today.
I Am Melanin Magic,
And so are you.